Hi, hello, welcome. Hi, hello. It's me, Stuart. Still, to this day, I'm still here. We're still root-treeing. This is part something. I want to say 6. So I'm staring at the folder with my previous recordings in because I did just have a quick flick through the last 5 minutes of the previous recording just so I can remember what the hell was going on. Don't know if it helped much, but I think we ended at the last episode feeling a little bit more confident. We filmed the last 2 episodes together. Maybe we'll film 2 episodes right now. Probably makes sense with all the stuff I've got going on that I need to do to get 2 done now to give the rest of my life some breathing room. It's quite funny, isn't it? These episodes are only like an hour long and stuff like that, but I really have to like make sure they don't, you know, if I've got things going on, I really have to make sure I don't screw up my the rest of what's going on in my life. Anyway, let's look at the family tree. Because last episode we'd locked in, I think, Jim Roottrees' 2 kids, Candy, the musician, and Wolf, the lad, and Angelica, who we probably should have got earlier because of the whole redhead thing. In fact, and Guy. Did we get anyone else? Okay, so we must have got 6 in. I mean, I did just watch the end of the episode. Anyway, Angelica was definitely someone. Guy was someone because of the whole redhead business. These 2 are twins. They're Angelica's twins. And who else did we lock in? I think actually we got Clancy's name, which we hadn't put in before. And the outlier. That's probably the wrong name. But we thought we knew Clark Rafferty's occupation, but we don't. And I believe last episode or the one before, we felt pretty confident that this... Well, we knew it was Clark Rafferty's name. We doubled down on that it's Clark Rafferty's face because he's holding the thing over his face. Cleverly enough. That says... He's holding the C and J over his face. C for Clark. J for Jane. That's what it is. And then J and D are these guys over here. And they were holding that over their face. In fact, I can show you. I mean, you saw it recently. Yeah, so originally I was using this little mole here and the eyebrow shape to identify Jim. But then I realised that Clark and Jane have the C and J over their face, and Jim and Diamond have the J and D over their face. So, case closed. Except for the case of, what's your job, Clark? What did you do after you left the music world behind? We don't know. But, a couple of things we want to do going forward. I want to check the evidence desk, because we didn't get anything new after we got our 18, because our mysterious benefactor didn't come to the door. She was on the phone, so we didn't get anything. But I want to see if we can get the remainder of the 5 easy pieces. I don't know if we'll get Margalite as a photo yet, although she should be in the photograph. So actually, Miracle. Okay, so okay, so we don't know because there are 2 women. Ding ding. One of them is Margalite, who is Gwyn's mother. Is that right? Is that right? Am I remembering this right? Yep. Gwyn is a new generation. The actress. And one of them is the mysterious oldest 5-piece. So I guess we can't... Anyway, they're both these people here. You think blonde woman, blonde Gwyn, maybe, but perhaps neither of them are blonde for real. And if it's all dye, it means nothing. So that's one of the things on our... It's a weird thing to do. The second thing was I wrote down just after we finished was the flyer. I think it'd be worth... Like, we got this ages ago, but it sort of seemed very unrelated to the stuff we were investigating at the time, so I kind of didn't think about it. But then last time I noticed it had 11 clues attached to it. So there's got to be some stuff going on here. And seeing as she's standing for city council, or was standing for city council at some point, there's got to be like news articles and stuff about her. So I think that's going to be someone we can chase up. So that's it. Those are the two things, essentially. These ones have been ticked off. I did notice Jim Bob pointed out in the comments that red Roottrees was in fact a red herring, and I should have noticed the little red fish that appeared there instead of just saying, oh yeah. In my mind, I was like, yeah, a fish is the opposite of a star. Didn't question it. Of course it's a red herring. Thank you. Yes, we used that clue already. So I'm going to start with the 5 pieces. I don't know if I've researched them before on the old spider search, but I'll give it a go. I don't know if they I don't know if we need I was going to say I don't know if we need a space, but by the time I'd even begun uttering the sentence, the article has started loading and we didn't need a space. So what I like about spider search, which I think makes it different from the search engines that came after it, like Alta Vista and Google and Ask Jeeves, is it doesn't give you websites. It gives you a summary of what you have seen somehow. It's very clever. From marketing materials and various, I'm slightly hysterical today. Things have been happening this week, and it's put me in a strange state of anxiety, and it appears to be manifesting in me being slightly chaotic 5 minutes into this stream. It's not a stream, it's a video. Here we go. We're going to have a good couple episodes. From marketing materials and various candy history sites, you look. How many candy history sites do you think there are in 1998? We carry on. Probably loads, actually. The late 90s and early 2000s was a real treasure trove of just bonkers websites. You learn that the 5 pieces are the iconic candy sold by the Roottrees Candy Company. We knew that. Although they're no longer the company's only popular product, they still sell well to this day. I need to yawn. I don't want to do it on camera. Sorry, I could feel it building. And these are yawn tears, not emotional tears. I'm glad you're with me on this journey. 5 pieces are small, colourful, shell-coated maple candies that since the late 20s have been pressed into the shape of a maple leaf. There they are. Even though I did see this, I've looked at this before, I didn't actually think about the fact they were maple leaves. I just kind of blurred over the shape of them. It's funny the things your brain just kind of ignores while you're focusing on other things. I think I was focusing on the flavors and the slogan and the elderberry thing, and I just like these have been leaf-shaped candy for the whole game. I think we got these in episode 1. Never clocked it. Back to the article. Although they usually have one flavor that looks more like a berry. There it is. As tastes have changed over the years, so have the 5 flavors, but the shape and combination with maple have remained consistent. It makes sense. It comes from a maple farm. There's also a history of print advertising website that claims to have the 5 pieces advertisement scanned from a book called The Sweet History of Candy, Volume 2 by Charles Lee. Unfortunately, when you click through to the website, it seems like all their image links are broken. Well, we'll see about that. Fair enough. Let's look up this book then. It's a book, right? So let's look at it in periodicals. Nope. We need to actually have the book first. Oh, shit. Oh, you don't need this. You specifically don't use the space. There we go. Answer that question. Come on. My mouse today has started doing the thing where it plays up sometimes, where when you're holding down a click, it releases it without me letting go. I need to get a new mouse, but I really like this mouse. It's got little weights in the bottom. Nope. Press the wrong button. If you're here for me to be on the ball, you're going to be disappointed. Can I look up periodicals? Sweet history of library is what I need to go to. Jesus Christ. Come on. Come on. Oh, Christ. What was his name? Charles Lee. Charles Lee. Ah. Sweet history of candy. Volume 2. Yes. 1985. Non-fiction. This is part of a book series about all things candy in the modern world. It starts in 1925 and continues onward to chronicle the rise of mass production and global distribution. The book ends with a look into the future of candy as envisioned by experts in 1985. With the addition of hindsight, you can clearly see they got pretty much everything wrong. It's only been 12 years. It includes some print advertisements. You find a newspaper ad for 5 pieces from the 1930s. Oh, okay, so we got the modern day this ad, and then we're going to have a cool old school ad somewhere. So what does this one look like? Right. It's a miracle. Shall I read this? I'll read this first. You found the advertisement in the Sweet History of Candy Volume 2. It's from 1928, 6 years after the debut of 5 pieces. It states that flavours are inspired by their children, and the order is grape, elderberry, cinnamon extract, melon, and the newest flavour, miracle berry. Now we knew that the 5 pieces were inspired by the children. We knew that before anyway, right? Is that what it said over here or something? Yeah, they were named as such because the original creator had 5 children. Current 5 flavors are not the same as back then. So does this mean this is closer to who the... Obviously M is from Miracle Berry because the 5th child is called Miracle. And I guess 1928. So Miracle was maybe newly born then? Let's go back to the... when was this taken? 1935. So, yeah, he looks about 7, doesn't he? He could be a 7-year-old. Miracle was very, very late in the game, in that generation. Okay, it's all adding up. So these are the existing flavours, because they were... Introducing M for Miracle Berry. So was it... No, but it wasn't ever called 4 pieces, was it? Yeah, 6 years after the debut of 5 pieces. So is Miracle... This is very confusing. So if the 5 pieces, the candy, came out in 1922, Miracle here is actually 13? Yeah, it could be. How tall are 13-year-olds? My friend's got a 13-year-old girl. And she's taller than her mother right now. That doesn't mean anything. But I don't know. He looks a little short for 13. He had some health problems though. Okay. Sorry. So, in case it wasn't clear, my thoughts were, if Miracle had recently been born, then why the hell were they called the 5 pieces? No, the 5 pieces came out when the children existed. Unless there's some sad things that happened that we don't know about yet, where there were 5 children and then there weren't 5 children, and then when Miracle came there were 5 children again. Possibly. The question mark I have right now is, why are we introducing M for Miracleberry? What was the 5th piece before that? Why is this happening if Miracle already existed? So that's my question. I don't know the answer yet. Maybe we'll find out. It's a miracle, says the advertisement. A modern candy for modern society. Roottrees 5 pieces contain 5 different maple-infused flavours. They're a very proud family business, and our flavours are inspired by our children. So, if they're all in order of who the children are, we can start matching these things up, because that's Margaline, isn't it? And you are Clancy Edward, so that adds up. So E and G. So you're E. Are you another Elias? You are another Elias. In fact, we knew you were Elias. I don't know if we ever... If I don't think I ever said you are Elias, but of course we knew from this shit. I'm sure I've written down Elias somewhere. Eli the next gen. Before marrying. So there's the original Elias, who's the patriarch of the whole tree. Clancy Edward. Yeah, he was. Yeah. Begins with an E. Elias. I'm sure there was an Eli. 5-piece 1. Who the fuck are these people? Guy. Oh yeah, Guy is the... wait, yes, Guy are these people down here. Because we had... I think we need to split up these notes the way I... Right, so 5-piece 1. Zach Morgan. And we're going to add a page. And we're going to call it... What's her name? Angelica Morden. So we have her line going down. So let's do Angelica Morden. And reorder notes. Angie's older than Zach. So Angie's going in there. Uh-oh. No, you're meant to go with... Where did she go? Oh, there she is. Come on. Zach's not a bad president after all. Angie's... Oh, I seem to have written this down here. Oh, goodbye. Guy Hudson with his twin sister, so you're in the Angelica line. Guy credits is in there. You're Angelica. Yep, you're in there. Guy's uncle and current president. Alright, we'll stick you in the Angelica line 2. Zach's not a bad president, seems to say. So you're going to the Zach Morton line. There we go. Great. And I'm going to actually make a little note. No, I don't need to make a note saying who's who. Okay. Why was I over here? What was happening? What was I doing? What was I looking at? What the hell's going on? I was looking for Eli, wasn't I? I was looking for a 5-piece Eli. Clancy saw he swore Sam working alongside the farmers, EC and John. Eli, Miracle's youngest, not my brother. So we know there's an Eli in this route, in this line, because Eli is Lauren's brother. Yeah. Shit, maybe there's not. Maybe I've missed something. Miracle's youngest. So there's an... Fucking goddamn. There's a... Right, there's one Eli here. There's one Eli here. There's one Eli here. And if I go down to the Miracle line... Yes. Right. Now, question. Question. If I just use this as a name. Elias. Okay. One Eli here. No, there's three Elis left. So ignore that Eli, because Eli doesn't appear, I don't believe, if you've already found them. If you already locked them in. Right, that's right. So there's 3 Elis left. One in here. One here. And a third Eli. Which could still be you. Let's... Elias Roottrees given in to his wife and announced that Sam would be included in the gallows. Edward is set to take over the department once he retires. Who is Edward? So once Clancy Edward retires, Edward is set to take over. So we could be at Edward. Let's... Edward and 3 Eliases. That's it. All right, let's make a little note. Because actually, but why would he be Edward? Why would Edward? Why, once he retired, would his older brother take over? Surely someone from the next generation would take over. Right? Unless he's retiring early. Yeah. Okay, less clear than I thought. I thought it was Elias. Maybe I've seen something that says it's Elias, but I cannot pin down Carl's second cousin, Ernie Jr. Have we pinned down Ernie Jr. yet? His second cousin. His second cousin is somewhere in this kind of generation, somewhere over here that's just not in this chunk. I think you're going to be an Elias. There's a chance you might be an Edward, but I think the taking over after retirement, the retiring thing doesn't make any sense. Anything else that might pinpoint who you are? Not sure. Okay. Back to the advertisement. G. G is for grape. So you are G. You're probably Gwendolyn, aren't you? Let's go back up here. Gwendolyn. Pauline. There you go. Just because you're the only G we got left. And Gwendoline doesn't give birth to a Gwyn, but Marguerite gives birth to a Gwyn. And who gives birth to a Margaret? Is there a Margaret? No. Okay. Is there anything else we can chase up with this advert? Don't think so. E. It's got to be an Eli. Now, how do we tell one Eli from another Eli? I don't know. I think there's going to have to be some piecing some things together that we haven't got the information for yet. So, I ticked off investigate 5 pieces. So now we're going to try this Stephanie thing and see if it opens up a whole world of fun for us. Yeah, I don't think these clues go down as we sort of use them up. But you know what? I'll take a picture of them. There we go. And we'll see. Stephanie Jones, right. So I think we've read this. It's a flyer about a candidate for local office, Stephanie Jones. Buried under a ton of mail that Carl left in his inbox. It had a handwritten note attached that seemed personal. So I think we've read this. Let's read it again because I can't remember shit. On the back is an excerpt from a newspaper article from the Butler County Times about her campaign. Stephanie may have grown up in an unconventional family, to say the least. But in her words, it was still full of love. And now 22 years later, with a baby of her own due around Christmas, her message to voters is simple. Love is our future. Handwritten note says, Carl, I know we don't see eye to eye when it comes to the candy company, but if you could talk your girls into about putting out a statement supporting Stephanie, she could use the publicity your daughters bring. Don't let our conflicts spread to the next generation. CM. So I think CM, if not this guy, someone associated, you know, a friend, a close acquaintance, a family of Stephanie Jones. So let's start looking up Stephanie Jones. Maybe from there we can work out who CM is. Maybe from the list we can work out who CM is. There is no CM on the list. So, Eloise, I forgot about that. Is there a Sam on the list? Cattrall. Sam Cattrall. You know Sam, the strange person that appeared? Is that the only Cattrall? No, there's a Stephanie Cattrall. Okay, I'm adding to the list. I'm going to look up Sam Cattrall / Stephanie Cattrall. Now, it seems unlikely that either of those people would be searchable because they're probably not notable figures. But we'll see what comes up because we think maybe Sam might be some kind of illegitimate. Wow, we could don't do that. Some kind of illegitimate child that has been brought into the family. Right. Stephanie Jones. You learn from an election results page that Stephanie Jones, a candidate for City Council, won her campaign on election day about a month ago. You find no mention of the Roottrees in any articles about her. Stephanie also has a bare bones website for her campaign. It's simply a picture of her campaign mailer, and underneath it says, be sure to read the full article in the Butler County Times. So, how do I... If I get the Butler County Times, will that make it appear in periodicals? I can't remember how we made periodicals appear. New periodical. Good. Okay. Butler County is located outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Okay, so the accent I used for Stephanie was, who turned out not to be Stephanie by the time I reached the end of that message, was nowhere near. While the Roottrees Candy Company, now, and you know I'm good at accents. While the Roottrees Candy Company now has its headquarters in the city, the company began on a small farm within the Butler County limits. And the area has a lot of history with the family. The Butler County Times is presumably a local paper there. There are likely articles from over the years involving the Roottrees family and those adjacent to them. It's been automatically added to your periodical search interface. As a side note, a video game called The Roottrees Are Dead was once set in Butler County, and it turns out the creator never lived in or near Butler County or even had any connection to Butler County. Okay, is this is this meta? What's happening? The Roottrees Are Dead, not to be confused with a similar game called The Fluke-Knees Are Bread. What is happening? Am I in a fever dream? I'm very tired. Nothing's making any sense. Oh my god. Let me just have a little sip of Pepsi Max. We could do this. We could do this. We're in this together. Don't leave. Don't leave me. It's a video game about a fictional family called the Roottrees and about discovering their lineage after the Roottree sisters are killed in a plane crash. What is happening right now? The game takes place in Butler County, which is a real county in Pennsylvania, but uses fictional elements such as a fake newspaper called the Butler County Times. The creator of the game does not know anyone who lives in Butler County, has never been there. Instead, he just randomly picked somewhere on the map near a major metropolitan area that sounded reasonable and hoped not to somehow accidentally offend the people that actually live there. Great. Great. I'm going to bring my eyes back outside of the Matrix and return to the meta. Okay. My question to myself is, and to the game, hang on, I really need to yawn again. Okay, my question is Stephanie Jones important? Do we need to know who CM is? And do we need to know her connection to Carl? Or was that flyer just a way in to getting the Butler County Times periodical? I say we look up Stephanie Jones first, because that's the only thing we've got confirmed to be in the Butler County Times. But if the game is set in Butler County, then maybe the Butler County Times is more likely to have stuff related to the people we're searching for. Maybe this is going to expand our ability to find out information about these people. Or not. The most recent mention of Stephanie Jones is a small report detailing the election results from last month's election. Stephanie apparently won her election. You'll also find the full version of the newspaper clipping on the back of the campaign mailer. While most of it is unimportant, you do find the following. Stephanie Jones, born Stephanie Landon until her marriage to local business owner Brian Jones, has lived in Butler County her whole life. Pause. There she is. There she is. Okay, she's on the list. If she's on the list, she might go on the board. How many people are on this list? 1 sec. Oh my god. 3, 6, 9, 12. I've lost it already. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36, 37. Double that is 74, 75, 78, 81, 83-ish. I think I wasn't the best counting there. How do you put on this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Not 80. Not 80. Not 80. It's like more like 50. At a sort of guess. I was counting very badly there. So, like this is more names than we're ever going to use. I think. Okay, back to the computer. Stephanie grew up in a home without a father. With my mother and her partner, I essentially had an entirely female influence. Okay, so her mum was gay, is what I'm hearing. Though she's a distant cousin of the Roottrees. Okay. Of who? What Roottrees? I mean, cousin is like. So she's probably not on this thing. Well, these people aren't Roottrees by name, so you could say all of these people are cousins of the Roottrees. This person's a woman, so these people weirdly might be Roottrees by name because Gwyn used the name Roottree, despite it not being her birth name or married name. Carry on. Her mother, Caroline, a local artist who's appeared on the front page of the Butler County Times in the past, has often come out opposed to the corporation's policies regarding deforestation of indigenous trees to expand their maple farms. Unlike my mother, I'm not a fighter. I want to bring love to the world. So is there a Caroline Landon? Landon? Is there a Brian Jones? I'm interested in her mother more. Let's look at Brian Jones, though. I feel like we haven't made much headway. We haven't made much headway. I haven't pinned anyone down yet, but we did maybe get some names of the 5 pieces. There are many advertisements over the years, as well as a small article from '95 about Jones Graphic and Print. The article is a piece about Brian Jones taking over his father's print company after 20 years. Brian seems to have not let it go to waste as a marketing opportunity during the interview portion. I've been in and out of that shop my whole life. I'm a Pennsylvania man. My father has taught me everything there is to know when it comes to getting the job done right and getting it done quick. We've been a printing staple of Butler County for years, and even the Butler County Times uses us for their coupon pages a few times a year. Thanks, by the way. I'm so sorry. But still, whether you're a new client or one of our... Oh, he's still talking. I see. You're meant to sort of put inverted commas when you drop... Never mind. But still, whether you're a new client or one of our regulars, nothing will change. Come on down for the best prices on bulk printing anywhere in the state of Pennsylvania. Or search for us online. I designed the website myself. Okay. Alright, I'm going to just make a little note about Jones Graphic and Print, but I'm not sure where we're going to go with that. Let's do a little... In fact, let's just... Right, Jones Graphic and Print is a company that, according to its website, has existed in Butler County for some time. The website seems fancy. It even has frames. 1998. The website lists the address, hours, and a few examples of clients and the work that was done for each. Ahaha! Maybe. Stephanie Jones Campaign Mailers. No, sorry. Stephanie Jones Campaign Mailers. Roottrees Candy Company. Various banners and posters. Butler County. Miracle Network. Roottrees Motors. I dropped my pen. Oh God, everything. Why is everything so stressful this week? Roottrees Motors. This seems to be some kind of Roottrees business that's nothing to do with the candy company. Motors. Come on. Butler County School District, Butler Summer Theatre. How much of this is going to be useful? We also do web design. Come in and get a quote today. I think you should go with them. Their website has frames. I remember learning HTML back in the late 90s. Can't remember much about it now. Wait, is that all we wanted from... Yes, I think so. Stephanie... No, Caroline Landon. Okay. Can I control C? I can. Balls. Okay. Let's look up Roottrees Motors while we're here. The only hit was from the Jones Graphic and Print website. As a local business, they may be featured other places. Business Watch. Butler County Times. Here we go. There's an ad for Roottrees Motors in the paper. It seems Roottrees Motors used to be called Wilkins Motors. Okay. An ad for Roottrees Motors run in every week's Butler County Times for many years, but recently has been changed to include a picture. 3 unique versions of the ad have been added to your evidence. I think what I wanted was... Oh, God, this. I think I would just want to make sure I can look at these. Right. Evidence, evidence, evidence. Why is there... It says I got 3 things. And yet only one... Oh, okay. There's like 3 adverts. Okay, great. And I clicked on the wrong thing. So this is a Roottrees Motors ad that ran from 94 to 90, no, from 74 to 77. Advertises the former name Roottrees Motors was Wilkins Motors. Maybe that'll give us some family tree information. Wilkins Motors is still the same family business, but has joined the Roottrees family. Interesting. And maybe they, you know, to capitalize on the name. Okay. Wilkins, oh, this is massive, too massive. Wilkins Motors is now Roottrees Motors. We may have a new name, but we promise we're still the same family business. All that's different is we've joined a sweeter family. Funny noises, need new oil, come on down, we'll fix her up. No. What's this? The shops at the Greek. The chaos at the creek. I'm sure it doesn't matter. Is any of this evidence that I want to put in my notes? I'm not sure. Roottrees Motors. This is a 77 to 95 advert. Wow, that's run for like 20 years nearly. Your local family mechanic servicing the entire Pittsburgh area. Funny noises, need no oil. Come on down, we'll fix her up. Is that the same? Yeah, that is the same. You got a slogan, you stick with it. And this one is 96 to the present day. Tessa Roottrees. Aha! Ta-da! That's a face. Tessa Roottrees, our newest fixer, learned all there is to know about cars from her Roottrees Motors parents. Funny, yep, same slogan. 50 years. I'm guessing we can't use the phone, right? No. No, okay. Tessa Roottrees. Okay. Right. Wilkins. Catherine Wilkins. She's the only Wilkins. So, Wilkins may or may not have married into the Roottrees family, or they just merged businesses. And this is a red herring, and we're never going to see her in the on the family tree. Okay. Unclear. How has this helped us? What can we do from this? Not a lot. So let's look up. We can't just look up names from the list because it will just. That's not how the game has worked. Otherwise, you'd be able to look up everyone on the list. There wouldn't be a game to it. So we can't just look up Catherine Wilkins. But let's look up Wilkins Motors then. Alright, let's look at our periodic calls. Okay, just double checking. There's nothing on that family. Anything else that Jones Graphic and Print has worked on? What's this? Let's find out more about Butler County. Nope. The backwards and forwards thing works in a weird way. Butler Summer Theatre. Do we know anyone who's... Right, let's see what this can do for us. Right, Butler Summer Theatre. So what this... Jones Graphic and Print is giving us an insight into things that are in town. Or in the county, I guess. So maybe there are people in the Roottrees who are involved in the Summer Theatre. Maybe there are people who are involved with Roottrees Motors. That seems like there are. Maybe there are people in the school district and so on. So let's see. Let's see what Summer Theatre has got for us. The Butler Summer Theatre performs plays and musicals during the summer. Makes sense. As it is not summer currently, their website has a thank you message. Thank you for making our 1998 season such a success. Stay tuned for announcements about performances in 1999. That is a very 1998 local website thing to do, to just... Right, we're done now. Don't look at us for 6 months. The website lists the credits of a musical. It seems to be the final show they performed last season. Here we go, here we go. There's a cast list, but none of the names seem relevant. Shit. Below the cast list, it lists the crew, and two things stand out. Posters and additional set design elements by Jones Graphic and Print. Well, we bloody know that. Choreography by November Studios. Let's look up November Studios. If not here, in the newspaper. A local dance school. They advertise lessons for ballet and jazz classes. Hardly any other information available. Well, there better be in the newspaper. Instead of November Studios, maybe they should have called this place No Mention Studios, because you don't find any information about it anywhere. Nice thought, though. So Butler Summer Theatre is sort of a circular with the Jones graphic and print. That's annoying, isn't it? What else we got? School district? What's in the periodical? Periodical me. And you know what? I bet this isn't going to be in Business Watch, but no one's thinking about Jones graphic and print. No. Okay. Shit. In which case, just looking at my list of things I wrote down to search and which things I searched, there are things I haven't ticked off, but I can't remember if I actually did search them. Like, for example, Guy Hudson. But I'm pretty sure I did search Guy Hudson because we've actually, you know, got him. Got him! And in fact, I can probably double check, right? I can go history and I can go Guy. Yeah. Yeah, we looked him up. I'm going to tick him and make sure I know that. Now, history. Chris Rafferty. So Chris Rafferty, sorry, you can't see what I'm seeing with my eyeballs because I'm not speaking it out loud. So Guy Hudson, tick. Chris Rafferty, no tick. And now the things I just wrote down. So I did Stephanie Jones. I did Jones Graphic and Print. I did Roottrees Motors. Tick, tick, tick. Stephanie Cattrall, and I've written Sem Cattrall, so that's sorry, what I'm looking for is, there we go. No, what am I looking for? What did I look up? Why have I written down Cattrall? Is that because those are the people that were on the list of names? I wrote it down like 10 minutes ago. Why did it? Why? What was I looking at? Wasn't the Sweet History of Candy? Who was a Cattrall? Oh, Sam Cattrall, Stephanie Cattrall. Those are the. So that's the mystery of Sam, the weird addition to the family that was insisted upon by Elias. And Stephanie Cattrall may be the mother. That's what that was. God, it looks like I wrote Sem. I'm trying to write slightly quickly when I'm recording so that there's not dead air when I'm writing, and what actually happens is I write down gobbledygook. Right, let's start with Chris Rafferty, which might be Christopher Rafferty. Okay, well, that was worth a shot. Sam. Now I can't just search people up. It's like, again, this is the same. It's the same thing, right? You can't just search for people on the bloody list. Nonetheless, no. As we suspected. So where does this... Stephanie. CM. Who was CM? Because her partner is Brian Jones. CM. Oh God, where's the list? M. Caroline Morden. That's it. Mordens. Who the hell's Caroline Morden? So the only women who could be Mordens, because we what am I saying? The names you put in here have to be their birth names, unless explicitly specified that's what they go by. For example, Gwyn goes by Roottrees, even though she's not born a Roottrees. That's her name she goes by. But like Lauren was born a Roottrees, even though she became a Rafferty, so she's in there as Lauren Roottrees. So the only women who could be Mordens are people, I guess, underneath Zach. So this person is a Morden. Because Gwendolyn Roottrees clearly married a Morden and had 2 Morden children, right? That's how naming convention works, especially back then. Angelica Morden married a Hudson. How many Hudsons are there? Okay, so you're clearly Bunny Hudson, aren't you? And you're clearly fucking Christopher Hudson. Jesus Christ. So obvious in hindsight. Okay, sorry, right. So if we go down after Angelica, these are all Hudsons. So the only Mordens are, apart from you, down here. Now you're not a woman, because well, you've passed your name Morden down, and I think the only lesbian marriage or same-sex marriage or anything we've had hinted at was Stephanie Jones's parents, and they were Landons. God, I've solved nothing in this episode, but we've had thoughts. Right, let's chase these thoughts down. I'm going to... Right, let me just save this. So that, sorry, right. My thoughts are over the place. I was going to take a screenshot, but I need to save the old screenshot before I can take a new screenshot. So I'm going to save the screenshot we had as clue numbers episode 6. So if you don't remember, was this. I took a screenshot of this, and I want to know if the numbers are changing depending on what we do. They have changed. They have changed. Okay, well, we already know that. Look, sorry. Woo! This was 11, and now it's 6. So they have changed. This is a 4, and this was a 3. No, wait. Sorry, that 4 is that 4, so ignore that. But that's definitely changed. The campaign has definitely changed, and we spent some time on the campaign mailer. Oh my god, so what the hell's going on? Why did it change? It changed based on searches we did. Okay, hang on. I'm going to write this down because I'm going to lose track of the thing that I was going to do in the first place. Clues number changes with search ? Right, I'm going to follow up on that thought in a second. Because I want to log this other thought I'm having. I'm not diagnosed with ADHD, but right. Let's just write straight on this. I want blue, and I want medium, and I want my... Okay. Why was I thinking about Mordens? Can someone remind me? Right, get over there for a sec. Why was I thinking about Mordens? Oh, CM. Okay. Okay. Right. Back. Right. You. Don't let our conflict spread to the next generation. Talk to your girls. Right. So you, I'm going to highlight you and I'm going to stick you in... here, I guess. Maybe I need to move these ones around. Have we got... Maybe I need to... Don't get distracted. Just stick that in there. Right. CM equals... I can't... we can go down it from here. We can go list of names... M. Right. Finish your thought. You can do this. Line Morden? ? Actually, this. Why am I pointing at the screen? I've got this. Can go in the Zach Morden line, right? For exactly the reasons that I'm saying. The Mordens are underneath Zach. So maybe I don't need to... So maybe I don't need to draw on this. No, I don't need to draw on this. That's fine. The thing I just did logged the thought I had. Don't need you. Go away. Get out of here. Get lost. I'm planning on recording a second one after this, but maybe I won't. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Or do I need to chase up my thought? So my next thought... I'm going to end the episode. My next thought, and maybe I'll start looking into this at the beginning of the next episode. I'm going to make a cup of tea. And I'm going to go into the next episode right now. I'm going to do it. Because we're not on a roll, but we've got to achieve something, right? And we haven't locked in names this episode, but we have expanded our minds. So you need to expand, and then you need to focus in. And we're at the expanding stage at the moment. And we're probably going to keep expanding, but we're going to know something. Right, my thought is... This was 11, and now it's 6. Which means we did 5 things, right? So my thought was, what are the 5 things we did? We made 3 bits of evidence appear, right? I guess. 1, 2, 3. That might be some of the 5. That's the only thing we put on this table was this, which may count as three of the things. We also looked up Stephanie Jones, Butler County times we unlocked, Jones Graphic and Print we unlocked. Roottrees Motors we unlocked. I mean, if we ignore the evidence as a number, Stephanie Jones. Butler County Times. I don't think that counts as something. Brian Jones, Jones Graphic and Print, Roottrees Motors. These things didn't really give us something, so maybe it's related to the number of searches we opened up. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. I'm losing my mind. But I'm going to make a cup of tea. And we're going to come back in a few minutes. And I'm going to drink that tea while I delve into the next part of whatever the hell this is we're doing. And it's going to be great. For you, it's going to be tomorrow. No. For you, it's going to be in 2 days. For me, it's going to be in a few minutes. I will see you then. If you have any mercy on me, you'll leave a like or a comment or something. Because my God, we got this. It's fine. I'll see you in a minute. I'll see you in 2 days. I'll see you whenever. I don't know how you're watching this. Maybe you're binging it. Maybe it will be 2 minutes. I'll see you then. Bye.